Now we welcome in former Wartburg wrestling coach Jim Miller. An introduction probably isn't necessary for this man. Thanks for joining me this morning, Coach.
Yeah, for sure.
So can you first talk a little bit about 25 consecutive Iowa Conference titles? Crazy to think about that.
Tell you what, we were just trying to win one back in the day, you know, and we hadn't won one when I got here 14 years in a row. We hadn't won one, and we were just trying to get one. You know, basketball was winning. Buzz Levick was here, Monica Severson in women's basketball. They were winning championships, and we just hadn't won one. And so we really put our minds together. In that first group, 1993, we won the first one in that string, and then every other year just kind of grabbed a hold and said, let's win the next one.
So you got that one under your belt, and then like you mentioned, it kind of kept going. What's it mean to see it continue the way it has today?
Well, we call it hold the rope. Now it's your turn to step up. This team's your time to step up and do the same thing, you know, and that's kind of caught on, and I think guys have bought into that and done their job when they had their opportunity, and it's pretty gratifying to see 25 years in a row. I mean, obviously nobody on the team is that old, so yeah, it's been fun. But fun for the alums that are part of that streak. There's hundreds of guys that are part of that streak, you know, and so it's been real gratifying.
You talk about the 25 consecutive streak of Iowa Conference. 1994 was the last time a team not named Wartburg or Augsburg won the national title. This year, if Wartburg wins it, they will be at the top with 13 national titles over Augsburg with 12. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean that's another deal where, you know, when only two teams have won the national title, I think 21 years in a row. And yeah, it's 12-12 right now, so obviously there's some extra incentive. And here we are, we're ranked number 1 and Augsburg ranked number 2. And so that's going to be a storyline going into the NCAAs.
So just beat Augsburg a little bit ago. What is that like, kind of bringing some momentum into the national tournament?
Well, I mean, that was closer than the first time, so, you know, you can't go by that really. You just got to be ready to go at your best at the national tournament. And the first thing that takes is regionals next week. You know, you can't leave somebody behind. And we need to get all 10, hopefully, to go to the national tournament.
What's now the preparation? I mean, you've been around wrestling your whole life. What's the preparation like for the regionals?
Preparation is just individual stuff, little things now. You know, everybody's in shape. I mean, resting, being rested up, being fresh, mentally and physically going in, and that's usually the best formula.
So, like I mentioned, you've been around it your whole life. Have you seen a change in wrestling from, you know, back when you were young to the way it is now?
Well, I think the biggest change I see is all this rolling around. There's a lot more scrambles now than there used to be, but you know, Coach Keller's real good at that stuff. He kind of brought that into our program when he got here, and so I think we're well prepared. But beyond that, no. I think it's still just out fighting people and being ready to go when you get your opportunity.
You mentioned Coach Keller. He's done a good job taking over since you've stepped down. Talk about the culture and the mindset that goes into, you know, on the mat, in the wrestling room, every day to continue this success like this.
Well, that's what you want, you know, and Coach Ortner and Keller have both been there a long time, you know, so I think the transition was seamless, and they continue to do their thing, you know, with our athletes. So I think you just you try to do your best a day at a time. That's not easy to do. You know, that's hard to do because kids get distracted. You know, they got tests, they got things going on too, but I think that's been the staple of our program, to be able to hold that together and try to do a great job one day at a time.
Coach Miller joining us. Always a pleasure to have him. We'll be right back after the break.